How's it going? You remind me of Nathaniel, one of my great pals from the different ages, stuff like that and all that. People never really
bro,
realize
back
that
here.
Pop Tarts are like pretty better. It's pretty good. But you know what's funny? I didn't realize there were so many Pop Tart flavors.
Did you
He poured
really
out
not
his
kill
shield.
that guy? Did you really not kill the fucking detective?
No, he pulled out his shield. I was shooting him in the head. He just pulled out his shield.
So anyway, like I was saying before, when it comes to gaming right now, okay, I'll tell you my top three. I'm still building my list right now, but I got the two. I got the two first ones. Okay, and the first one is my favorite game. Okay, we're gonna go through the list. These are single player only. It's hard to kind of do the multiplayer one because I got a lot of love and I got a lot of hate. This is my fan right here. Yeah, you stay right there. All right, so first thing is all right, when it comes to certain games like okay, I'll just do the list. All right, my favorite game of all time, single player, Life is Strange 1, the original. It's a classic. The music, the settings, it's got some supernatural elements, but it's still a great game. Story-driven games I always gotta love it. Okay, stuff like that. So it didn't even matter at that point. But the second one, the reason I like it is because of the narrative and how the narrative coerces different people and stuff like that. So even at that point, it will always go on above and beyond. Like you can't get better than that, honestly. So when it comes to just the world overall, I know it's small and it's sectioned off. It's not open world, but not every game has to be. Pretty sure if the Age was open world, it would have been terrible. Come on, let's be honest. It would have been a mess, and different varieties would have been produced and stuff like that. A lot of less detail, like the graffitis is always to a specific person, and you can imagine if you had the whole world available to you, it probably wasn't going to be that in detail. Stuff like that. I just love the characters. Favorite background characters. Let's be honest. Is Samuel. You gotta love the guy. He's one of the top guys. Samuel. Gotta love him. Amazing background character. Talks in riddles. And I hated how they did his voice in Before the Storm. They changed up his voice, made it way more creepier, way more unnecessary. I know they were trying to get the creepy vibes and stuff, but geez, not my man Samuel. He had a great voice. Sadly. Anyway, so when it came to different people let's say overhyped people, definitely Rachel. Listen, I love the whole dynamic and stuff, but it was overhyped. We all know it was overhyped. I get what we did, but it was still overhyped. I honestly couldn't do it. Let's be real. It was one of them. That's the only reason I didn't like her, because her attitude, okay, and how her attitude changes the course of different people. So you could say Chloe had a decent relationship, but at that point it was a whole different it was a whole different thing. There's plenty of reasons, but my favorite main cast character has to be Chloe. I mean, come on, people either love her or hate her. And I do both. No, I'm just playing. I love her. She's a great character, great transformation. Everything makes sense. Everything is everything is cohesive. Okay, so come on, it's a great game, honestly. And that soundtrack is on my playlist, banging to this day. You just gotta love it. It's one of the top 10 best soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. You really can't get any better than that. So my second favorite game. How's it going? My second favorite game is Cyberpunk. Okay, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, guys, listen. We all know what kind of launch Cyberpunk was. But listen, guys, when I bought Cyberpunk, I had an idea in my head of what it was going to be, and it was exactly that. It was exactly how I thought it was going to be. I knew it wasn't going to have massive story choices, even though they said they were. I knew characters were going to die, stuff like that. But either way, I still loved the game. I love the outcome. I love the story. Come on. The only thing I didn't like was getting crashed every 4 seconds, because I did play it on PS4, and I can say from PS4 player right here that it is not a bad game for PS4. It was worse on everything across the board. It was worse across the board. It wasn't later gen consoles. It was overall. The only reason PC didn't get that many problems is because of such things because you got better rigs. If you have a great rig, obviously you're gonna brute force all of your positivity, so it doesn't really matter. So come on, guys. Obviously you could brute force the bugs and glitches with Cyberpunk if you have a beefy enough system. But overall, it's just a bad game overall. Okay, overall on all consoles, all PC. Okay, but I loved it. I liked it. As soon as they fixed the crashing issue, the repeated crashing issue on day like 4. So other than that, I was having a great time. Now, when I did finish the game, unfortunately, I did want more stuff to more push. I wanted to be more like relaxing and stuff like that.
He was just talking to himself.
AFK
No,
player.
he wasn't AFK. He was pretty much there. He was just talking to himself. Yeah. How do you like stay
I
safe?
hate when they do that, man. I hate
after
when they do
talking
that.
to yourself?
I hate when they do that. Hey, I got 2 of these for you. What can you trade me for?
So like I was saying before, I don't have a third for my third person slot. I honestly, the only reason I have those 2 games as my first and second is because they made such great impact in like gaming, for me at least, where I could just place them automatically. Now I'm going to have like a whole list of my single player versus multiplayer games, but that's just the tier right now. So it didn't even matter at that point, but I am saving my third slot for a great game. Good games I'm playing single player are what was it called? The Children of Flight. The game I just finished. I just finished it. It was a great game and a great game. Great concept. Also, Seasons. I gotta finish playing that. I'm gonna finish playing that today. I got like 4 hours left on that game, so when I finish that game, it's gonna be a great time. And also, it's even at that point, you will still have fun at that game because it's just unique. So, like I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, I'm saving my third person slot. All right, Seasons is a good contender. I gotta finish it, but overall, the art style is amazing. The overall world is amazing. At least the main character is amazing. I like the kind of stylistic how you see the characters and stuff like that. Like I like how you see the characters like their disproportionate arms or wrinkly face, and it meshes well with the cell shaded art style. So it gives a definitely unique. Like if you look at this game, it's only a handful of games you could compare it to, because it's only got like one of those 2 or 3 things you gotta love. But I did finish Children of the Sky, one of the great games. I finished that one, and regardless of that fact, it was still one of those like crazy kind of games. And I guys, I did like it. But the thing about it is, it was.
I didn't stab him. What's he
Why are
saying?
you talking to yourself?
Because he's travel Oblivion. No, don't get travel. But he's fucking.
It's not his
Just
fault.
let him talk to himself, bro. Just let him be a schizo. Just let him be a schizo. Just let him be a schizo.
Let him be schizophrenic.
Saying before I got rudely interrupted. I did finish Children of the Sky. Now listen, that game is made by the people that made Journey, and I might play Journey. I'll throw up a poll. You might see if anybody likes it. But the thing about it is, it's just unique and different. So I can't even tell you. And even at that point, it will be something like concurrent. So basically, I'm trying to say is like, even though it's different, it's very like. Okay, it is a great narrative that I kind of understand.
Kill him! I wonder if he's gonna keep on talking.
Before I was rudely interrupted. Okay, I played it. All right. Now here's the things that I like about it. I like the overall visuals. If I could make an artsy looking game like that, I would be pumping them out, boom, 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 one after another. Like the artsy game is amazing. Okay, but then another thing I like is the flying. Like the overall how you use the flight. I feel like it's a great. Jeez, what am I? I feel like it's a great turn, and like it has great movement, motion, and stuff like that. It looks amazing. Overall, everything visually is tantalizing, okay? But then we come to the problems, and there's way more good stuff. But
What do
it's
you
easier to talk about problems rather than good stuff. The first bad thing is replaying levels. I finished a level by walking through a gate, and you would think that means your save data's there, but you've seen in my playthroughs that we have played multiple times levels over and over and over again. As soon as I reach like the end gate, like you see the boss. I meant the guardian at the temple, and then you go to the temple, and then you go into the next world. I think when you pass the next world and go to the new landscape, you should be it should be different. So you should save there, and then you should start there. But they start you at the hub, and then when you go through the tunnel, you get to start again, which doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm not saying it's a terrible game, but the saving qualities of the game is just very, very depleted. Okay, I had to play several levels over again, like 1, 2. I had to play 4.
It was not him.
I just updated Pavlov. This is so sick.
You can't just keep his whereabouts to yourself.
So like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Okay, so yeah, like I said, saving and playing levels over again is not the best way to get everybody hyped for the new walk, right? And even though I failed that part of it, it was sad because okay, I can admit that the dying or living at the end of the level was a great touch to the story because it felt like it was imposing. Like I was going through the mountains, you had to dodge the rocks, and even though the game is not told to be multiplayer, you can join multiplayer lobbies accidentally, so you could see ghosts of past people, or you could see people of present, and that's a cool feature I didn't know. I got jump scared in episode 3 if somebody sneaking up on me. So anyway, like I was saying, it was basically the ending. It was a great ending because I could have won if I didn't help people, but that's what the whole story is about, helping people. So it's either help fallen people or die. And then I was helping, and then I turned selfish and then died. Me and my partner, we were piggybacking off of each other's light, and sadly she died, I died. But you know what was funny? When we both died and went to the ether or whatever it was, we were in the sky or whatever, we hold hands as we walked into the reset of the earth. That was a beautiful ending. I almost cried until she started spamming the freaking call button and then ruining the good moment. But other than that, it was a good story. But I cannot in my good conscience put it in 3. Okay, it would just have to be. I just have to leave it there for right now. It's gonna be in the open air. I'll categorize it later. Okay, but as for season's Letter to the Future, that game. Now listen, I love the game. I'm finishing it today, hopefully, and then it'll come out in parts, like part 4, whatever, blah, stuff like that. But overall, I'm loving the game. The only thing I don't like is I don't think I like how much reading it is, guys. You know I can't read, so it's getting out of hand. I gotta read this letter. Hey, come on, guys, let's get some OVAs and stuff like that. Let's just have a great time, stuff like that. It's getting out of hand, a lot of the time. And even though you like it that part, even at that basically it's a lot of reading. And guys, reading is here and there, but I don't think most of the reading that I currently have to do means anything to the story. Well, other than at the docks, you read all the dock papers that never got to their families and stuff like that, which were sad. I understand that part. But each level seems more like a go here, walk here, read here, instead of an adventure. But I overall do like the current surface.
Oh my god, that is so boring.
That's the longest story I've ever heard. What was that?
Travel a little bit for fun, but at least move around the map. Not
Dude,
him, but other people.
Your head just it's like Johnny McNutt.
No, you can't shoot people. The goal
Yo,
only
I
happens
like
in
your
the dead.
story. Your story is fire.
The goal only happens in the dead.
It's like Johnny McNutt.
Where is Oblivion?
I've got the best loader. I've got a shotgun and deagle.
Oh, I got a revolver.
I'm really good. I've got a spare shotgun. I've got 2 shotguns. Who wants one? I'm guessing no one.
Nah, me.
So
I
anyway,
want
like
it.
I was
need
saying
it.
before, I was rudely interrupted. I would have to wait till I play it to put it anywhere. But overall, right now, I do love the unique qualities they have, like custom scrapbooking books and the audio recording. Like this, even though it's a single player game, and single player games need a hook like that to be unique and stuff. I've never seen that in certain games where you can record sound and then put them in your notebook. You can record pictures. You could take pictures of anything and fill your notebook full of garbage basically. But overall, everybody, first of all, everybody knows my notebook is the best notebook. Let's not lie. Chapter 3 was the best notebook. I put it up on the Reddit. I got millions of karma. Everybody knows this. Let's just be honest. Anyway, but I'll have to finish it. Now for games that I'm playing that's single player that's coming up, I'm apparently playing through the entire Nightmares trilogy, so 1, 2, and 3 when it drops. I've seen 1, 2, and 2, so it's not gonna be a blind playthrough. But you guys said you wanted to see it, so I'll play. Yeah, it's no problem. Hopefully, for the third one, I think the second one is also co-op, so I could have like a special guest as the third person, and I'm at second place, and then we could just see. So stuff like that. What else are we playing? Oh yeah, we're gonna play a mystery game that I haven't announced yet because it's an indie game that nobody's played or nobody's played that much of. So when it comes up, nobody's gonna know it. It's gonna be basically a big surprise, and it inspired one of the best games of 2019. It was like one of the top 10 games like you ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. So there's also another thing.
I killed Shredder.
What's the guy on about? Why is he like having like a panic attack?
That's what he
Oh
does.
yeah, the guy who's talking right now, he's talking about a game.
Is he just talking to someone else, or is he talking to himself?
No,
I think
he's
he's
just talking.
recording right now.
Dumbass,
He's just talking
talking.
he's talking about a.
Why is he just talking? Is it an AI or is it a real
Because he's
person?
just talking. He's just talking. What do you need to know more about that?
So anyway,
you
like I
probably
was saying
couldn't game
before, it was like okay, I have to play it and I'm gonna love it. Okay, the mystery game that I'm gonna play, you guys are gonna love it. The only thing is, it has to be done on console controller, and I don't know how to use like PlayStation controllers and stuff like that. So stuff like that and differences. So when I do play it, it's gonna be a mystery. It's gonna be top 10. It's gonna be amazing. So guys, I know guys are loving the Pavlov stuff, so I'm gonna keep on doing that obviously, and I love my Cyberpunk playthrough, so I gotta play more of that. I gotta do more like fancy stuff, try more cyber stuff, and just overall be in the world and just have a great time. Okay, when it comes to multiplayer games, now listen guys, I really can't solidify it for sure, but obviously Pavlov is up there. But the game that I hate to put up there, even though I had so many hours in, is Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, guys. Yeah, it's the only reason I'm not playing that game to this day. Is because they nerfed my favorite characters, Montaigne and then Clash. Yes, I know they're the most annoying characters out there, but it was funny. Okay, one person shocks you from behind the shield, and one person has a giant shield that can one tap you. It was a funny experience for me, at least. Come on. And the only reason they got nerfed is because the pro players were whining like babies, like they always do. Come on, I'm a casual player. Guys, think about the casual scene.
I'm the traitor,
like
but
I'm just having a great time. So it's not even like that. Okay, so I don't understand why majority of game developers always take the competitive people over the.
All you have to do is say the N-word to somebody and
Bro, stop killing him! I want to hear a story.
He was talking about how his
Jester
favorite
was so
multiplayer
easy
game
to
was
kill
Rainbow
them. All
Six
you have to
Siege.
do is like say the N-word and they would get mad at you and kill you.
You said the N
You
word.
just win. No.
So like I was saying before I was
If you find
rudely
him, say where
interrupted,
he-
and it gets to a point at that point where you're not even listening to your core fan base. Everybody
main
knows that
lobby.
the
Go to the main
majority
lobby.
of players are
Go to the main
casual
lobby,
players,
go
and
to
then a
that
little
finder,
percentage is competitive. So why would you listen to the competitive people? Now, understandably, the competitive people do make the more money because people don't watch casual people unless they're funny like me. They only watch competitive people because they can do the game better than anybody else. That's why you will watch a competitive person at that point. So I can tell you for a certainty, okay, that competitive people do make more money. Okay, that is truth. Okay, but community wise, the casual base is better. Okay, because there's more people having funny laughs. All the memes come from casual players. Like, come on, everybody knows those memes from every little place. So that's why I don't really play that many multiplayer games here and there. I'm trying to get into my indie scene kind of flow, just have a little mojo and all that stuff. A fun experience and all that. So when it comes to that point, you just gotta love it. So anyway, okay, we could get off the multiplayer game trend, hype, and stuff like that, and we can start.
What happened, bro?
Why would he
Blowing
bring it
people
up?
up. And I love it.
Oh, his entire ribcage is showing.
So anyway, like I was saying before, I was having a great time. So when it comes to different trends right now, I don't really know about trends. Trends. I guess the current trend right now is battle passes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I don't play enough multiplayer games to even comment on that. to be honest.
We need to
I
find
did
him.
play when Siege had their battle pass, and obviously I play games that have had battle passes. Like let's talk about like good industry games. Like for example, I can't wait until my game comes out, Society's Edge. It's plug. I'm plugging in the thing because I'm working on it soon. My game, Blue Man's Book, is dropping soon. I'm still getting approved and all that stuff, but it's gone gold. I was gonna make a post about it, but I kind of don't want to advertise it because it's kind of like another trashy throwaway horror game. But it's gonna be priced. It's gonna be priced at $5. Hopefully, it might go up slightly. No higher than 7, obviously. So it'll stay between there. And even though it's a throwaway game, but I worked hard on it, and I feel proud to put it on Steam. It's gonna be one of those great games. So you could love it or hate it. So when it comes to good developers, Face Punch Game is always a good developer because that's what I'm basing my model off of, what they do, because they progress things. They don't leave stuff to die. Gary's Mod getting updates to this day. Yes, it's like tiny updates, server specific and like server owners and little stuff like that. But overall, it's still climbing the ranks at the end of the day, so you really can't even hate it at that point. And even if you do, it gets to a point where it's like a different type of, basically you gotta love what they do, but you gotta love how they act as well, because a good developer like Valve can always talk the talk, but they really walk the walk. But I do want to make like a scale of like game developers, like game companies, and put them on a scale. So trust and untrusted, stuff like that. So you can always have them on like a spectrum, so you can know when to buy or when to hold out. Because everybody knows that when Starfield dropped, guys, listen, I'm not a Starfield fan. I'm not a Cyber fan.
Bro just died.
Wait, you could be. Wait, did they get? Wait, hold on. Did they get 100?
Don't kick
No
him.
one can kick him.
Did they?
Alright, whoever's trying to kick him is a little annoying cunt. Shut up.
But I'm a kid.
It was him.
Yup, it was him.
Shut up, nerd. Bro, you're freaking idiot.
Loser.
Guys, the good part is you try to kill each other.
Before I was rudely interrupted. I'm not a big fan of Starfield, mainly because I just don't like cybers. I don't like cyber, like what's the word I'm thinking of? It's the one with the dash in the middle. It's sci-fi. I don't like sci-fi. I don't like space odysseys or space theater. I got a couple, like, yes, I played Star Wars games, but those are different. Those aren't freaking multiplayers. Well, they're not massive MMOs with different skill trees and different planets that you can walk on, even though you really can't. It's only certain places you can be and stuff like that. But either way, I'm just saying it's a it's a unique game. Okay, now I'm concerned of why people are not comparing it more to Star Citizen rather than comparing it to the new Call of Duty in terms of graphics.
How did he get on there?
Someone used the concussion thing to force him up. Unless he's done it himself. No, he hasn't moved the entire game. Like, he'll move his hands, but he doesn't walk. He was waving.
I just saw him move. Oh my god, that's like seeing SCP. Oh my god. I saw him move. You're alive in there. Oh, he killed himself.
Anyway, like I was saying before,
Oh, he
even though
was
it's a
there.
different type
Now
of
he's right
universal lover, I can always say and be honest with you guys, okay? So first of all, I think you should compare that game more closely with Star Citizen, since it's also a space odyssey, but instead of comparing to that, so I don't even know why you would do that, but either way, you still gotta love it either way. I do love the new games and stuff like that. People are saying stuff like, this year's been the best year for games and stuff like that, but who really knows? So I couldn't even really be honest with you. And even though you can just sit there and say, like, for example, you could say this year is the best year for gaming. Not for me at least. The only good games that's coming out for me, like, that's going to get played is 3, like not Life is Strange. Jeez, I'm bugging out. It's Little Nightmares 3 and the
wrong.
new Cyberpunk expansion. Obviously, we're playing that.
fucking
You're gonna
wrong.
love that.
It was about
So
to blow up,
either
too.
way, you can still gonna love it. So when it comes to like different topics, guys, come on, let's not. Can we stop playing so many puzzle games? Can we stop making them? I mean, come on, my brain is not that big. I can't solve all these puzzles. I'm being honest. Like all these puzzles are getting me confuzzled. Okay, like for example, Stray. Now, guys, listen. Stray was a great game. In aesthetic, okay, it was a great game aesthetically. It had like a unique, different kind of mixture of different things, and it didn't even matter at that point. I was just having a great time, and you could love it or hate it, guys. It's like one of the top 10 things that. Okay, for example, it had it kind of ishish kind of dialogue, like to the point where it didn't make sense. Like it was talking about different things such as. Oh, we're talking about this, we're talking about that, but it never really hit me in the core. When that little robot died, I didn't feel that sad. And also, it was kind of a questionable ending at the end. It didn't make sense to overall. It was more like this guy. It's like, okay, the cat died, the cat lived, the robot died. That was a human. But you never get to see any humans. Like the game was fleshed out. I'll admit that, but I kind of wanted to see more of the like expansive. I'm not saying open world. I'm just saying it was kind of limited in scope. It was more harping on the this is a cat game rather than this is a game that has a cat. You know, it was the leading force. The leading force was we have a cute cat, so our game is good, and it was a good game overall. Okay, but I wouldn't even put that on top 10. I'm being honest. It's not a terrible game. It's just not my slice of pie. Even though I played it on day one, because I wanted to have like a. I wanted to get the views. Let's be honest, but it was a good game when it came down to just the graphical settings and stuff like that.
Traders win.
No, but he kept taking out my ammo. What the
I wonder why.
I was having a great time, and whether you like it or not, it was always something unique. Okay. For example, we could talk about something like in real life, like
Where are you guys?
like when it comes to developer tools, I'm always trying to find the latest edge, like cutting edge in software. I do want to do stuff in the I forgot what it's called, but basically, I believe it's called photo scanning, where you take a bunch of pictures and you could render a 3D object, a 2D object, well, 3D into 3D space. I also do love the GitHub suppository thing where they had the old the whole thing with the what was it?
The blowing them up.
Who's that guy? That fucking guy right there.
You killed him. Died to a flashbang.
Shot me.
So like I was saying before, I know it got a little hectic. Basically, let's leave gaming in the past. Well, in the future, apparently. And let's talk more about like artistry and stuff, because that's what I want to do, more hobby stuff. I want to get into spin art. Now, yes, I got a drill, but then I got to get the canvas. I already have paints because of my 3D stuff, but I feel like it's going to be more of a headache rather than like cool. I do want to try the spray paint stuff where you do like the glossy paper. But as I said before, I feel like it's gonna be expensive because one spray paint is like $20. Like anyway, like I was saying before, it doesn't really matter. You can always have a different type of transpire or different type of like fix. Like when it comes to hobbies, like I said before, I always like making them be my like main thing. But all right, we could talk about dinosaurs, okay? Because when it comes to dinosaurs, I only know the three facts. That the T world are like one of the top 10 like things you can even have. A T-Rex, even though it's like generic and basic stuff.
I got part of it. Keeps farting. How do you do that? How do you fart? Jeez, thank you. I'm whipping. Stop farting. It's the longest match I've ever seen.
Before I got interrupted, when it comes to like having hobbies and stuff, you always gotta like relax. Like I'm making some songs right now of the indie variety, and it sounds terrible. I don't know how to do all the mixing and stuff. So I got one of my YouTube buddies named Kishi B. Kuroshi. Go subscribe. He makes little songs and stuff like that. It's very popular. You're gonna love it. Okay, top 10. But anyway, let's talk about something you guys want to talk about. The hide. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, first of all. I hate the new hide. Now, I don't hate it terribly. It's not like a terrible thing. It's more like a,
I survived the
it's like one of the worst things, and whether or not you like it or not, basically, okay, so, instead of the points, obviously, that's old hide, you have loot crates now. And then when you go to the loot crates...
Well, that is true. See, listen, it was normal for tank.
I was rudely interrupted. The reason I don't like hide is because of one simple fact. Is because because of the loot crates. Now, the loot boxes obviously are a step up from just surviving, you know, but a lot of things in the loot boxes are broken, okay? So, let's talk about the broken stuff, like tripwires. Trip mines only work towards the hide, not the other way around. And this happens with a lot of damage variety stuff in that kind of mode, such things like the poison dart gun that still doesn't work. The trip mines for a hide not working. Grenades falling through the surface or falling through the ground, same thing. The glitch box, I'm pretty sure there's not supposed to be 3 M2s. You know, with all healers. I think that's just a glitch. If that's in the random system, please take that out immediately. I don't want the hide or the soldiers to have 3 stims, potentially. It's just a terrible scenario. And then you can revive them, and also, when you get revived, you have no ammo. I'm not saying that's a problem, I'm just saying that that's one of the things that you can change, because if you've seen one of the newest hide video, my old hide videos, well, it's gonna be old by the time it comes out, but it's new to me. So I just played it, and it's gonna be up soon. But basically, all of them had M2 crates. I killed them and stole their weapons until there was only one guy with 1 pistol shooting me, and he ran out of bullets. It was 3 people with no guns, 1 person with no ammo, and I just killed them. Now, that's the point of being revived. Like, you're at a disadvantage.
Why would your head come?
But the thing is, it's just like
You could have just bought 50 cal.
So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. Okay, so another. Those are just like specific glitches or problems that's been happening. Overall, the balance, like I said, is getting worse for the hide. They can choose whatever guns they want. So a person that's good with shotgun could choose a modded, I kitted out shotgun, max ammo. A person that's good at the rifles can have any rifle they want, max ammo, modded out. Like, come on. if anybody's good with the poison dart gun, you get hit with that a couple times, you're done for, okay? So it's getting to a point where it's like, geez, like, these guys are pretty much overpowered at this point. And the only thing the hide get was 2 smoke grenades. Really? Smoke grenades. Like, sometimes I could use them. Like, you seen them. I used them in one video where I threw a smoke grenade at a crowd. They moved out of it so I could revive one of my teammates. I threw one to cause the distraction to get people separated, stuff like that. But I generally spam. I usually don't. If I don't know how to use a gun or a weapon or a utility, that means it's bad. Because I know how to use a grenade. You throw them at people at the optimal time, which I mess up here and there. But when it comes to like grenades overall, we need something else. Like I said, the grinder, guys. Come on, it's a great idea. Grind weapons and stuff that you can't use, like stems and weapons and optics, to get less powerful grenades or smoke grenades, because no smoke grenades are that bad. Anyway, like I was saying before, I got interrupted.
Your voice is higher than mine.
I was having a difficulty just having a great time with the grenades. Now, speaking of grenades, there's 3 types of grenade types that the hide can use: smoke, grenade, and the flash. Now, flash is unholy overpowered, but I think that's a good balance right now, because you can only find them in loot crates and you don't spawn with flash grenades. So when you find them in loot crates, you looted correctly, you got out of there in time, and you're using them efficiently. You know what I hate is when I steal a bunch of flash grenades and regular grenades and they despawn. Pavlov fixed it. My stuff should not despawn. They should despawn the empty mags that's on the ground rather than the grenades that I need to win. There's been so many times where I had a stash of grenades and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to fight. And then as soon as I go over to my stash, it despawns because somebody either threw a grenade or it just reset. It's kind of dumb. It's really dumb. It's really stupid. So that's priority number one. If I was the Pavlov devs, first thing I'm fixing is that, and then I'm gonna fix why the trip mines don't stick properly. They only stick on certain door.
I hear somebody complaining about something, but the amount of little kids in here, I can't hear him.
I was rudely interrupted. Okay, so like I was saying, my grenade stashes disappear, and that sucks. The grenades is the only thing the Hive can use that is long distance fighting other than trip mines. And trip mines, like I said before, do not work on the first damage. They only work on if you're damaged previously. So if you hit a crowd with grenade, that might be all fine and dandy. You might say, okay, now you can place your trip mine, so you can use it strategically. But here's the thing: what if you go all the way over there and they despawn, or you go over the way to your trip mine stash, and you place all your you can't even place your trip mines down because they're glitching. I don't know if it's more of a glitching or more than like they did like okay, I don't know I don't know exactly how their script works. I could probably figure it out if I had the previous version next to the current version, but you can no longer just spam click them down unless you can get them some weird spots like in the air and stuff. So either they have it in specific sections that they want you to put it in, which is impossible because you can place them in weird locations that normally you wouldn't think, or, and this is a big or they are literally breaking the system, trying to fit everything into one like working mess. Like, you know, for example, you've seen it multiple times, floating trip mines. Now, you used to be able to place hidden trip mines in Siberia by using the wall because it had two colliders, like I said before. So I think how it worked last time was it worked with two colliders. So basically anything that has a collider that's probably marked a certain type, you could place a trip mine on. So if they didn't want you to put it on, like for example that ceiling fan, which you probably could, but you wouldn't reach up there high enough anyway, so it probably doesn't even have a collider. But those things up there have colliders, those lights. So you could potentially put one up there if you somehow get to up there. The thing, but now it seems like it has like another like stipulation which makes it harder to place certain things. It's just getting out of hand. So on the to-do list of fixing things, they have despawning grenades, specifically grenades, and health. All right, just if there's a memory problem, such as you need to delete stuff to stop lag or getting crashed, then you should just always delete guns, ammo cases, and other things such as stims. But you should always prioritize.
On top of their lungs over some shit.